Today we're on day number 2, and we're going to read from Matthew chapter 1. Now hang on, this is kind of a long list of names. I'm going to do my best. But don't turn this off. You need to listen to these names, and I'll tell you why when we get to the end. A record of the genealogy of Jesus Christ, the son of David, the son of Abraham. Abraham fathered Isaac. Isaac fathered Jacob. Jacob fathered Judah and his brothers. Judah fathered Perez and Zerah by Tamar. Perez fathered Hezron. Hezron fathered Aram. Aram fathered Amminadab. Amminadab fathered Nahshon. Nahshon fathered Salmon. Salmon fathered Boaz by Rahab. Boaz fathered Obed by Ruth. Obed fathered Jesse. And Jesse fathered King David. I love it. Okay, hang in there. We are 1/3 of the way through. Here we go. David fathered Solomon by Uriah's wife. Solomon fathered Rehoboam. Rehoboam fathered Abijah. Abijah fathered Asa. Asa fathered Jehoshaphat. Jehoshaphat fathered Jehoram. Jehoram fathered Uzziah. Uzziah fathered Jotham. Jotham fathered Ahaz. Ahaz fathered Hezekiah. Hezekiah fathered Manasseh. Manasseh fathered Amon. Amon fathered Josiah. And Josiah fathered Jeconiah and his brothers at the time of the exile to Babylon. That was list number 2. Just one more list to go. After the exile to Babylon, Jeconiah fathered Shealtiel. Shealtiel fathered Zerubbabel. Zerubbabel, the father of Abihud. Abihud fathered Eliakim. Eliakim fathered Azor. Azor, the father of Zadok. Zadok fathered Achim. Achim fathered Elihud. Elihud fathered Eleazar. Eleazar fathered Matham. Matham fathered Jacob. And Jacob fathered Joseph, the husband of Mary, who gave birth to Jesus, who is also called the Messiah. So all the generations from Abraham to David were 14 generations. And from David until the exile to Babylon, 14 generations. And from the exile to Babylon until the Messiah, 14 generations. And I love too how Matthew broke them up into 3 groups of 14. I think he liked to be organized. There's 14 generations from Abram to David, and then from David to the exile, and then from the exile to Christ. So he broke it up into those 3 groups. I think that's really interesting. Okay, that was a lot of names. And you might think, well, why even read all those? And I know a lot of times when I was younger, I would skip over that part if I was reading the whole book of Matthew. But guess what? Names are important because everybody has a name, and God knows your name. He knows my name. He knows everything about us. And that's why names are important. I think it's cool also how Matthew decided to put some of the women in there. You've got Ruth, you have Rahab, who was a prostitute, and then you have Bathsheba, and she was Uriah's wife that David stole. So to me, it just shows that men and women are worthy of being noted and in the lineage of Jesus. And also some of these people made some really big mistakes, but they still are included. And that gives me hope that we can be included too, because nobody's perfect. Only Jesus is perfect, and yet he chooses to use all of us. And I just love that thought. So I hope you can see from all of these names that God had a plan. Even though Adam sinned, God knew that the solution would be sending Jesus. And Jesus came through all this lineage, and then he was born at Christmas time for us. And then later, he died for you and me. So I just love how God had a plan. So I just hope that you realize God has a plan for you. You are part of that plan. You are in the plan. And that this is going to be a great Advent season if we just open our hearts and minds to God and let him fill us with his love and his purpose. So make this Advent one where you remember people's names because you know God's remembering your name. And we'll see you back here tomorrow for day number 3. And I would love to answer any question you have about Advent or the Christmas story or how to put your faith in Jesus. Just contact me through my website, nancyjoy2you, or email me at nancyjoy2you@gmail.com. I hope you have a blessed Advent, receiving his love and shining his light back out for everyone around.